Hey everybody, it's me, Mark of Man Looks Things, and there in the background you find Jahan from Do You Develop. Today we're gonna talk about LED light. So Aputure was kind enough to send me the flagship model, which is the 300D. It's an LED light, and we're gonna try today to take pictures on instant film. That's my side. And Jahan will take some pictures on analog film, like I think Portra
400.
Portra 400. And we're gonna take a look how good they turn out, how much light we have to work with it, and if we can actually shoot the S670 or his Hasselblad fanboy. And we have a beautiful model which is out here of the frame, which is Jasmine, and she's like camera shy, but here she is. And she will be our guest star today. And she will be sitting in front of the camera. To the light, there's a ton of tutorials in the internet that you can find about the light, what's with it and how good it is, and you can remote control it, it doesn't get hot, it's not loud, it's perfect for digital production. But does it suit our use case here, analog photography? For Jahan it's possible to shoot with strobe light, since you have a sync port on your Hasselblad or other cameras or Leica, you can always sync with a flash. But for me, with an instant camera, it's pretty hard. Like, shooting with an Instax camera, not possible to sync it with a flash. Shooting with one step 2, with this one here, also not possible to sync it with flash. So we're gonna try to shoot with the light we have. We mounted a softbox on it, let's see how that works, and then we're gonna switch it to an umbrella. Well, I think let's start. Jahan will start taking some pictures of Jasmine. So we took the image without flash, since it would change our exposure, and we underexposed because it's pretty strong light on her face and she's pretty pale. Okay, so the Instax image turns out really bright. I had the problem before shooting with daylight with Instax in the studio, and it always turns out super bright. I'm already underexposing, and I'm pretty sure I need an ND filter in front of the lens to get it a little bit down and to have a right exposure. Let's try this one again. And we have this ND filter here, which is actually the one from Mint. Okay, so we got that Apature light here, which perfectly lights Jasmine. And Jahan is nice enough to bring his light meter. Mine got lost a little time ago. I'm so sorry. Seconic, if you see that video, please send me a new one, just for review or to keep, I don't know. And yeah, we're gonna measure the light that we have. It's continuous light, so we're gonna put the light meter on sun, and then let's measure what we have on Jasmine's right side of the face. We are on f8 because that's the maximum aperture of an S670, and we are on ISO 125 because the film is has a higher ISO than 70. And we get a 15th of a second, which is kind of okay to shoot out of your hand, even if the S670 shakes a lot. Okay, as you heard, the exposure time was pretty short, and I'm pretty sure we will get a pretty good image. So last camera to test with this light and that backdrop is the 1 step 2. I'm also gonna go to underexposed because I found out it works a little better for me, and I'm gonna try that one. We're gonna shoot without flash, so holding the flash button in the back while shooting releases the camera without the flash. So let's give that a try. Okay, and now we're gonna change from that light box to a big umbrella, a silver one, and we're gonna pull down even harder backdrop for the automatic cameras, which is a really dark one. So that's one of the hand painted backdrops I did. And if you want to see how that's done, just put it in the comments below, and we're gonna make a video how to paint one of these backdrops. Not too hard, it's actually pretty easy. Turn off the light. As you can see, that light is really, like, I have no problem touching it. It's warm, but it's not too bad. And it has been running for quite a time on the highest level. So, okay, so let's take the So we switched our light from a softbox, which has like 2 layers of diffusion in front of the light, to a light that just bounces off a silver reflector. And we're going to test that on her right side of the face. ISO 125 again, 20th of a second, probably 50th of a second. Still, it's kind of the same light. So now I have some test shots, and it's Chan's turn now. So for one last test shot, I pulled out the big gun, my Graflex 4x5, and we're gonna shoot one expired original Polaroid film. And we're gonna measure the light again to see what we have. The film we have has ISO 80, so we're gonna measure that. Yeah, 4.5 all over. So we are on a 60th of a second with 4.5 on ISO 80. But first, we're gonna frame Jasmine. I'm going to open this one. Let the image off. So I really like the image. It turned out really good, and the light is pretty amazing. It gives us the real daylight balance. It's perfectly lit, and well, with 60th of a second, we are totally fine to shoot photos. I think that's it for now. And I'm gonna see you in a second, and we're gonna talk feedback on that thing. Okay everybody, so we are in the office. Some time passed. The 300D is already at its way back home. I'm sad. Well, our final thoughts, or my final thoughts on that light. I had a few days to think about it. If I would buy that one, I would actually. So the Apature 300D was an amazing light to test. Unfortunately, I didn't have the light formers from them, but it would be too much to ship. So I used my own softbox, and they have a really huge light dome, which I would love to test one day with the light. So that could be an amazing light too. And the light was just great. I would love to have it just for the videos here, like to supplement this one here and get a new one to have a light here. I mean, that's okay for me, but I still think could be better. Gear requiring something, or how it's called. Yeah, you always need to buy some new stuff, I guess. So I'm saving some money. Maybe I'm gonna buy one of these. But in the end, for instant photography, the light worked out really well. So you could get really decent shutter times. It was no problem shooting out of my hand. We were fine doing that. The white balance is amazing. It's just on point where you want it. That's perfect tones. With digital photography, you don't mind that too much. You can always tweak the white balance in the raw file in the back. It's just when you have multiple lights, you want them at the same white balance. If you want a similar image, just to have that nice look. If the colors are off, it looks kind of strange. The same is for analog photography. We also want a really good white balance, but here we are locked to the white balance of our film. So there's daylight film, there's tungsten film. All instant films are daylight films, and this 300D is a daylight light. It's perfect. It's on that Kelvin level where we need it for our images. So if you're an enthusiast instant photographer, you want to shoot more inside, portraits, still life, whatever, and you want to have control over your light, I would really suggest buying one of these. Yes, it's kind of a big investment with over 1,000 euros, but I think it's worth the investment. You don't need like 7 lights, you need one main light, and you can do a lot with light formers, reflectors and stuff to get light where you want it. If you want to light bigger sceneries and you're not shooting from a tripod, I would suggest buy multiple lights. But for portraits, one light would be fair enough. If you have an umbrella that's just reflecting, also good. That was only the one downside I had with this light, is the umbrella holder is straight to the tripod. This is kind of bad, because the umbrella is always in a right angle to the light stand, but you have your light tilted like this. So the light reflects the wrong way. It actually goes in the umbrella, but not in the center of the umbrella and spreads nicely. It goes on the side of the umbrella. That was one downside of the light. So shooting with umbrella is not really recommended, but I think that's also the light was not designed to shoot with umbrella. Otherwise, loved it. Apature did an amazing job on that light. Has really good quality, has a remote control, it's silent, it's bright, really bright for LED light. It has a single source and Bowens mount. Bowens mount is really important, so I can use all my light deformers here with the adapter and just put them on that LED light from Apature and can use them. So that was how we were able to use our softboxes. I didn't find a lot of problems. The only downside for me is the price tag is kind of hefty, but if you look at other like options, which would be like using strobes. So I have strobes here like that are really strong from Broncolor, and looking at Broncolor strobes, we are on a different level of pricing. Like not 1,300 euros, so yeah, you need Jenny, you need the lights and everything. So you're on a different level, and then you still have the problem of syncing it. That's the good thing with daylight, you just see what you're shooting. It's like the thing you see, you capture. That's really cool. That's like for learning photography, that's amazing. It's really hard with strobe photography or flash photography to just imagine how that light would look. You have maybe modeling lights in that strobes, but they are not the same as the flash would look afterwards. So that's hard to learn light forming, and these daylight lamps are perfect. I think we're gonna do a little tutorial row on how to light portraits the right way, where to set light, what changes and everything. I think that could be really interesting for you guys, like what happens when we put the light below, what happens when we put the light above. Does it look evil, does it look nice? And in the future maybe we can find a partner, maybe Apature is willing to help us out with that series. And yeah, we also got a little another light from Apature that they sent us with it. That's not on the way back, that's still here. And we're gonna do a little video with that in the future. Will be cool. I'm really looking forward to that video too. If they come up with one stronger light, I would go for that one. So if it would be possible to have a tick stronger, just a tick, so we get to 1/100th of a second on exposure times with f8, I would be there. That would be the perfect light for me. At the moment, we're at 1/60th of a second, that's fine enough. If you shoot from a tripod, you should be super fine. Really like the light, the quality is good, everything works out. Thumbs up from me. Apature did a really good job. Thanks again Apature Europe for setting me up with the light. Jahan was also really pleased with that light. He used Hasselblad and the Leica, and both turned out pretty good. We will show you some images now that we took, but that's it. Apature, thanks for sending me that light. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you want to see more content, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye!